Hey guys, Nick here, and today we're going to talk about the best premium ships in Star Trek Online. So my criteria is going to be like, you know, our good-looking ships, our performance value from the ship, our Boff Layout, our console, and our trait value. And if it doesn't have like, I'd say two to three of those, that's when they get dinged for me because of the price of these ships for like the everyday person. For someone who's just I have to say, someone like me who rips a lot of keys, you're eventually just going to get them all. But for someone who's like, has a couple, maybe you've got your year long event, but maybe you've saved up for one. You go, okay, what's a good choice? What's a good? It's hard to say good value with these ships because these ships are not cheap. Yeah, you can't say good value. You go say, what are they? They're the better of the premium ships. So guys, I'll go into the list. So first, when I say premium ship, I'm gonna exclude the like your current lockboxes, so like the Protostar and the Doodlestat. I think, and I don't know if there's another one that haven't been added to the Infinity lockbox. So the Infinity Prize Pack Tier 6 ship, guys. Um, or I don't, and I think none of them will be added to the promo. But so guys, that when I say premium ship, I mean an Infinity Prize Pack ship or a special requisition choice pack, because all ships are added to the Infinity store. If you're the Duderstat or the I just said it before, I think it's I don't know if it's the Protostar come from its own lockbox, but those will eventually be added to the Infinity. And guys, I just want to say as like my personal recommendation, if you're not willing to burn the keys, I would personally never rip a individual lockbox anymore, because now most of the time those lockboxes don't have what you call, you don't you don't you won't make a return on those keys if you don't get a ship. So like with the Infinity Lockbox, you've got the weapon choice packs, you've got the trait boxes, you've got the Doff packs, you've got the maybe you get rip some watches. Like there's ways of making your money back if you know what you're doing. But with these new ones, the value, they're always really low. People rip them. You can pick up the items really, really cheap on the day or the week of the launch, and they're just no value to them. So the only value in those new bundles or new lock boxes is the ship themselves, and unless you get a ship, it's not going to have really the keys are going to be really wasted. Hey guys, to my picks. So guys, this is in no particular order. These are my personal choices for like, this is my will be I won't say my top six, but this is going to be my six ships that I say, you look at them and go, they're nice to look at, or they're a beast of a platform, or they give you a great trait and console, and they're not, they're ships you want to use. So like, I'll say I love the Borg Assimilator, but it's a complete meme value of a ship. It's the trait. I don't even know what it is. The console, I don't even know what they are. The pets that come from the ship are not good at all. The Boff Layout on the ship is okay, but there's ships that do it better. So it's a 5-2 carrier. So like if you want to do that, you can pick up like the Vodwa Juggernaut, which is a 5-3, you know, Juggernaut, and does those sort of energy weapon builds better, or the Delkina or the Legendary Avenger, all for similar or less prices, and they do it better. Anyway, guys, to my list. So first up is a promotional ship. This is, guys, and again in no particular order, the Constitution 3 Miracle Worker Cruiser. Guys, we call this the Connie 3 in game. So this one I picked because one, it looks good. Two, it has a good console and a good trait, and it's got a decent enough bridge officer layout for a fire at will build. I'm gonna say that be a bit more particular. It's got a good enough DPS fire at will Boff layout. You could do your beam overload if you really wanted to on it, but I see. I don't even know if the ship can load cannons. I don't think it actually can. Normally they say like you can load cannons here. Um, But guys, so I picked this, guys, because the trait itself, Thunder Run, during fire at will, beam overload, or cloak ambush, 20% bonus beam damage. That's 20% cat 2 damage to beams, plus defensive rating, and if threatening stance, plus 150% threat generation. So guys, that's a great, like, I call that a great tank trait, because plus threat generation, plus beam damage, that's your tanks. But if you're doing a fire at will build, you won't be in threatening stance, but you'll get the plus 20 beam damage, and you'll be proccing it with fire at will. So it's good, good value, because the ship most likely be doing fire at will, and it's a fire at will trait. So happy days. And the trait bioelectric wave capacitor. So guys, if you don't know what this is it is plus it's bonus to electrical damage, and so basic, it's a wave for 30 seconds. It shoots out, and it's massive electrical damage. But this is on all high-end EPG builds now, guys. So I'm just to interrupt, but I'm just reminding myself. I'm gonna give a shout out to Giant Dutch Viking for reminding me, not reminding, but a little nudge nudge. Nick, you're saying guys a lot. It's like my mum. She kept saying dearie a lot. Pick someone to say, hey, you're saying that a lot. So, all right, back to the list. So the console itself is very potent on your higher end EPG builds. The ship itself is good ship. The trait's a good trait, and it's a nice, like, good hero ship. It's a Constitution, so it's really, I wouldn't say it's not a can't miss, but it's it's a nice ship. So I'm going to take that off now, and we're going to go up to our next one, guys. The World Razor Temporal Ops Juggernaut. So, guys, if you haven't watched season 3 of Picard, this is referencing to that. But it's our strongest version of the galaxy in the game, guys. So it's Commander Temporal, so it's great for our beam overload. And being a lieutenant commander command as well, you could do decent torpedoes on this. You could tank on this. It's just a great CSV on this, because it's commander tac, but it can also equip dual cannons. So you can see there, it can equip dual cannons. This is quite a versatile ship. The trait itself is decent for energy weapon damage. The console is not, but the reason why I keep this on the list, guys, is because, one, it's a beast of a ship. I don't know if you've seen on ship, between Augmented Dictator games or our casual Sab, both have flown it heavily and have really liked this ship for its performance, and the trait as well is good on several builds if you don't have many, trait selection choices, and the seating itself is really good. I myself flew this with torpedoes when it came out and got several high 2 million runs that were on, like, I think one of them was my record for a little while, until the I swapped over to the Eagle. All right, next up, guys, the Excelsior 2 Intel Heavy Cruiser. So, guys, same again. This is a just great looking ship so this is from the Infinity Prize Pack T6 now, but same again, guys. This is going to be it's a hero. It's a good looking ship that you want to fly. It's a decent enough bridge officer seating. It's not the best because it can't equip dual cannons, but most people, you fly with beams anyway. So, it's a surgical strike ship. It's probably a fire at will ship, and maybe you want to do some beam overload with it if you would like. But it is a 4/4, so it's more of a broadsider. But more of the reason why I have this on my list today, guys, I'm saying that again. The trait itself is a decent trait. It's not one of the better ones, but it, plus beam damage, damage resistance along the sides, if you're broadsiding, and if you're not in threatening stance, minus 60 threat generation, so that's nice. But it's our console, guys. Yep, there it is again. The experimental power redirection array. Not array, I said array. It's not an array. Our plus 19.9 increased energy damage. Our 13.3 Starship weapon amplification, which is improving our crit hit severity. But to self, plus 60 energy energy weapon damage, scales with engine, shield, knock. So basically scales with everything other than your weapons. So if you're like an engineer, maybe this will scale really well for you. If you have one of the Borg Duffs, that gives you maximum power. it's going to scale really well with you. If you are running an Intel ship, which this one is, if you're running override subsystem Staffies, that'll give you a lot of power. This will scale really well for you. And then swaps randomly between Beam Overload 3 and Fire at Will 3. So this gives you a each second applies auxiliary beam array overload 3. So this is great for your Fire at Will build, guys, because it's giving you good single target and it's giving you more AoE in that. Plus it's, it's good energy weapon stats, it's good energy weapon clicky. The ship itself is good, and the trait itself is, probably not one of the strong ones, but I think because of its value, guys, it's just, it's one of the better ones to pick up because, there's not too many, there's nothing really on the ship that says, this is a bad ship. Next up, guys, is the Gorn Hunter Pilot Raider. So, guys, I picked this. This is on my list. So, same again, this is from the Infinity Prize Pack, D6. All but one of these are from the Infinity Prize Pack because I think for the price of the promotional ship, none of them have that, good seating, good trait, good console, hero ship, good hero ship sort of combination. Now, none of them have 2 or 3 of them that most of the Infinity Prize Pack ships have. Alright, guys, so to the Gorn Hunter Pilot. So the reason why I picked this ship, guys, is the trait and the console, guys, and as well the experimental weapon that comes from this ship. Because, I'm just went to my Breaking Benjamin. So, guys, the reason why I picked this is because this makes Plasma the meta firing mode for elite content. Because if we come down here, our complex plasma fires during energy weapons firing mode, plasma weapons apply stacking plasma weapon damage per second for 30 seconds. Ignore shields, scales with weapon power. If shields facing down, deals an additional. So this is a stacking plasma dot on your firing modes, but in elites, this is dot damage scaling with weapon power. So if you guys have seen, I don't know if you've seen Spencer's Plasma Delkina build, that is running, I think it's 6 isomag, so it's averaging out like 176 weapon power, and the Delkina being a Intel ship, it's at 226 weapon power on the rip, and between the complex plasma fires, the experimental weapon from this ship, and just your general plasma damage, the plasma is in its own league now in elite for energy weapons because just nothing keeps up. In advanced, the dot damage won't do quite as much because just nothing lives that long, but in elite, it really comes into a world of its own with the dot damage. Plus itself, the ship it's cool because I would say I liked it. The spinning mechanic is a little annoying, but it's a decent ship. It's 5-1-1, so 5 front, 1 aft, 1 experimental with Raider flanking and a battle cloak. And then, it's commander pilot, so you can do some interesting things with this ship. So this is the same sort of, guys. The ship itself sure isn't a hero ship, but it's good seating, good console, good trait, and as well, good experimental weapon. Alright, next up, guys, the Delkina Command Strikewing Warbird. Guys, this is probably the strongest individual, Boff Layout ship on my list, because this is currently, in my opinion, and a few other people's opinions, the strongest energy weapon ship in the game, because of in elite content. I should rephrase myself there, or take a step back. So, this is the strongest energy weapon platform in elite content right now, guys. And I'm going to keep saying that because I got guys, peeps, YouTubers, viewers, because it can run the most isomags, well as running an experimental weapon. Because ships like the Lexington might be able to run 8 isomags, but can't run the experimental weapon, which stacks, the experimental weapon stacks complex plasma fires incredibly quickly. As well as this ship is also a very capable torpedo platform, because nowadays the meta for torpedoes is 5 front weapons, and is also command to command. So if you guys don't know, command to command is the preferred choice for torpedoes if you're not flying the Eagle. And yeah, so guys, this is a beast of an energy weapon ship. I think it's a beautiful looking ship. It can also do torpedoes. It could tank if you really wanted it to. You know, the I don't even remember. The trade itself isn't amazing, and the console itself isn't amazing, but just because of how strong and good looking of the platform is, like that's why it's on this, guys, because like try and name, like I won't say try naming, the nothing compares to this ship in elite content for energy weapons. It's just a beast of a ship. Everybody who's picked up or done Spencer's elite plasma build has gone, wow, that is a beast of a ship. Anyway, guys, this is gonna be the last on my like primary list is our Mirror Constitution warship, or our what we call our Mirror Connie. So, or our Mirror warship. Yeah, sorry, I just opened up a little photo of it. Pretty, pretty. Alright, guys. So, I'm gonna laugh every time I say that now. So, this is a little bit of an older ship, but because of the trait it gives, Terran Goodbye is still on the list, and as well the interphasic rift generator. The active on this trait isn't amazing, but plus 15 crit severity is quite nice. So if you just like to, if you're going to fill in some builds, 15 severity is always going to be used. But the trait itself, if you've watched any of my other videos, my DPS builds, Terran Goodbye is on every single one of my DPS builds. Or if you've seen me on my stream, yeah, it's on every one of my builds that does damage. So whenever you defeat a foe, you gain 5% crit chance and 25 accuracy, stacking to 3 times. So it's 15 crit chance and 75 accuracy. So that's massive. And it's it's what I would say is a hero. It's the hero ship. It's the Constitution. Sure, it's got the mirror, but you can change its look up a little bit. The seating itself, it's a little bit dated now because there's no actual commander specialization seat, so it's not like Commander Intel or Commander Miracle Worker, but it's still a very capable ship. Command Attack means it can do, and being dual cannons, it can do Cannon Scatter Volley. It means it can still do Fire at Will. It can do Beam Overload. Being Intel, it can't do Surgical Strikes 3, and I wouldn't recommend anything other than Surgical Strikes 3. The 1 and 2 scaling just doesn't work that well. But I've seen people tank with this. I've seen people, do many things with this ship. It's still a very versatile ship, very good looking ship, and the trait itself is still one of the, what you'd say A, or I don't know if you would say S tier, because I don't know if people rate with S in Stowe, but if you want to rate with S, I'd say this is S tier. This is, top of your lists, guys. If your top 6, Terran Goodbye is generally in it. Hey guys, so now my honorable mentions. First up, I'm just gonna go to the Infinity Prize Pack because the promo ones it's hard for me to recommend those. First up is the Friendship. So then again, guys, yet again, this is in no particular order. This is just ships that I think have good performance, good looks, but aren't quite as heavy on good performance, good buff layout, good trait, good console, or good experimental, good unique piece of gear it gives you. Okay, guys, so the Friendship Command Flight Deck Carrier. So this is more of a recent choice. This is because of the Awani pets. So because of the Awani pets, the more hangar bays you have, the more debuff you bring just easily. So if you bring a fleet, 2 fleet version of the Awani pets, you're just bringing a massive amount of debuff. And being Commander Command, Lieutenant Commander Intel, Lieutenant Commander Psi, the Boff Layout is actually quite good for tanking, and this ship has Attract Fire, which is quite rare for a ship with 2 hangar bays, which I don't know how many of those are in the game, that have 2 hangar bays and have Attract Fire. I think I know this. I think the Silic has it, but I have to go double check on a list of which ships have Attract Fire and as well have command seating with 2 hangar bays. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say pretty sure. From memory, I can't think of any other command ships that have 2 hangar bays and also have Attract Fire to balance that out. But that's why. So it's a command, so you have Suppression Barrage 3, you have high enough attack seating to run your attack abilities, you have high enough science seating to run a grab well, and you have 2 hangar bays. to bring 2 bays of the Iwani pets. Alright guys, next up is, when I can find it, the Crossfield Science Spearhead refit. So the reason this is mentioned is for, as it's loading. So I have, guys, oh, there we go. So guys, this is on the list purely purely for its trait, Universal Designs. Crit buffs from Universal Consoles. So when activating a Universal Console, lasts for 20 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, 2% crit chance, 10% severity. So guys, that's 10% crit chance, 50% severity. That's a huge amount of damage bonuses. If you've seen any builds from any content creator on any stream that runs a higher end build, that's going to be on the build. Or even on your tanks if you want to be a DPS tank. The ship itself, for a science ship, it's got a lot of, not a lot, but yeah, having anything other than science as a locked seat really dings these ships for the science bridge officer seating. And the trait itself, not the trait, the console itself, the Quasion or Soulcraft is just basically for fun. You beam out a book ship, or a book ship comes out of behind the ship, and it looks quite cool, but for performance wise, it gets dinged because it's just not a console you're going to run on any build that you're actually running. You just put it on to have a bit of fun, and that's about it. Anyway, guys, my next, well, the last 2 I just want to mention. Well, there's one more definitely I want to mention because it kind of pairs with the, I'm on the wrong page. It pairs with the Crossfield refit, is the Deimos Pilot Destroyer because of the Phaser Lance, the console. So the Deimos Pilot Destroyer, this used to be a better, it used to be a higher choice for people because it was the PvP dogfighter of choice, and its seating used to be a little better for things we wanted. But it is still, like, the trait itself, I don't know of anyone who's ever run it, but for the console, this ship is picked up still because of the console, the Immolating Phaser Lance. So this being on such a short cooldown and it has 5 charges, this is what keeps up Universal Designs for a lot of us. So you fire a shot, you get 20 seconds of Universal Designs. You fire another shot, you get another, and you get another. And because it's got a 20-second recharge, if you can feed that in between others, you basically have infinite Universal Design stacks. The ship itself, it's a 5-2-1 with a commander pilot, so it's, it's not one of your commander command, your commander miracle work, your commander intel ships, but it's still a decent PvP ship if you would like to. It's probably 2 or 3 years out of date, but you could make it work. You're going to do decent energy weapon builds on it, but it's basically picked up just for its console these days. Anyway, guys, the last one, I'm just going to mention it because I still think I'm going to close the promotional tab now because it's getting in the way. The last one I'm going to mention, its value's been dinged because of what I mentioned earlier, like the friendship, but the Styx. The Styx is one of the beefiest ships in the game, has one of the best tank layouts in the game. It's just one of the, I personally like the way it looks, and it's just never going to do you wrong. It's good for torpedoes, it's good for tanking, it's going to do good fire at will, it's just, it's got a good mastery package. And the trade itself isn't too bad if you have nothing else. But I just think it's a ship that's never going to do you wrong. It's a workhorse. Like, the amount of builds that I've put on this ship, and if you know, guys, Mixed put CSV, he put fire at will, he put torpedoes, he put tank, he put support, he put almost every single build type on this ship, on his main, and it was a workhorse for him. This was more off stream, but yeah. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today. I'm going to jump back to the game and just going to talk about something real quick. And here's my captain. Alright, guys, so as I'm ending up, I want to talk about one thing. So if you're new to my channel or you're an existing viewer, I know I've only been uploading for just under a month now. I think it's the 26th of January, as I'm recording this, it's the 21st of January. 21st of February in Australia. I want to say thank you for a little support, guys. But in my in my Discord, I'm giving away a Lobby ship of your choice that is ending in about, I think it's ending in 4 days. Sorry, guys. So it's ending in 4 days. So if you want to win a Lobby ship or have a chance at winning a Lobby ship, enter in below. I'm going to say that'll be it for today, guys. So if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't, please. It really does help me out. And I'll say thank you, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.